Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory podcast here with Will and Tad, two hardworking guys by night covering foot. I'm sorry, two hardworking fellas by day covering all 32 teams by night. Here we are in our podcast, the Gridiron Glory on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us. Our passion for football is just absolutely tremendous. And here we are in the month of January. The season just concluded. The season finale of Red Zone was 2 days ago, Tad. I mean, for me, it's always bittersweet. Like, you absolutely love it's almost like you find such infatuation and love with the final Red Zone of the season, but then you realize that you don't get to see it again until next September. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the Red Zone season finale, starting with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Tad, once the Raiders found out that they have clinched the number one draft pick, I mean they knew that they had clinched the number one pick, and you know the Raiders were really getting after it. They let Aiden O'Connell get some playing time. Kenny Pickett even got into this game, though he got sacked 2 times. Safe to say the Chiefs' defensive line getting revenge on him from the Super Bowl last year. But nonetheless, the Raiders, they get the number one pick, and they finish their season with a win against their division rivals.
Yeah, a win for the Raiders. I mean, they start the year with a win, they end the year with a win. They go 1-14 in between. So just a really interesting season there. We'll talk more about their future a bit after the season, but I mean they do have some exciting pieces, so we'll see where they go. And for the Chiefs, I mean, they are 6-11. They, for the first time, are not obviously a factor in the playoffs, and they have an off season to sort of retool their roster, maybe get healthy, figure some things out. And the big question now is this the end for Travis Kelce? That's really the one big question, and that could be the last time we see him play football. 3 catches for
Yeah.
12 yards.
Yep. Is this the end for Travis Kelce? We're gonna find that out. I did, find to be pretty impressive what Chris Alodicon, 11 of 17. He did get sacked 3 times, but yeah, like I said, it was kind of interesting to see what the Chiefs have to offer at the quarterback position outside of Patrick Mahomes. And I mean, the way they lost this game on the walk-off field goal, just the cherry on the top for how their season has gone. So better luck next year, Raiders and Chiefs. Yeah, another team that was really looking forward to possibly potentially getting the number one draft pick, but they do not, is the Tennessee Titans. And I mean, as you said last week, Jacksonville win against the Titans and you win the division. That exactly happened today. Cam Ward unfortunately did get hurt early in this game as he went down with a right shoulder injury. Uh, yeah, just I mean, Titans are just mad deep in a rebuild, and you know, just Cam Ward getting hurt, just the cherry on top for them as to how their season has gone.
Yeah, it does not seem to be a serious injury for Cam Ward, which is a very good news. But all in all, I mean, a 3-14 season. We did not have high hopes for the Titans. We knew they are in the middle of a rebuild. They will be figuring some things out, changing things around. They do have some exciting pieces like Io Manor, Chimere DK, who I believe he ended up breaking the record for all-purpose yardage. So that's a very solid season for their two young receivers, and you feel like there's some room to build. So we'll see how things go there in Jacksonville, just firing on all cylinders going into the playoffs.
Yeah, firing on all cylinders. They're one to come out here and uh, make a statement in these AFC playoffs, and we'll get more into that. But they finished the year 13-4. The Titans finished 3-14. Titans still very much so in the middle of a rebuild. So we'll see. Two more AFC teams in the middle of rebuilds right now. The Battle of Ohio. You got Cleveland and Cincinnati. And shout out to Myles Garrett for breaking the regular season sack record. He gets 23 sacks on the season. And yeah, Tad, when the Browns emerged victorious 20-18 over their in-state Ohio rivals, the Bengals. And what was going through your head? What were your thoughts? What were your emotions when Myles Garrett broke the sack record?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was surprised that it took him as long as it did in this game, considering the opposition. We all know what Cincinnati's offensive line is, but end of the day, I mean, just an incredible season, a very long-standing record. Um, you can tell all of his teammates love him. Obviously, all of their fans love him, as they should. I mean, he's been there. He's been through a lot of losing, and he gets the record. They win the game. So some exciting stuff going on there. All in all, Cleveland has a lot to figure out still. Questions at the quarterback position. Can you get Kinshawn Judkins healthy? That's another question. So all of these will be answered and talked about, but very exciting to see the way things went in this game for them to lead the game-winning drive for the big kick to go in. Kicking in the NFL, it's never a guarantee. We all saw that, but for them to beat their rival on a walk-off field goal after the big sack, that's a huge moment for this team.
Yeah, absolutely, Tad. And you know, just we only predicted Cleveland to finish with 4 wins, but they finished with 5 wins. This wasn't the season at all for the Bengals as Joe Burrow um, got hurt, and some people, may want to sit here and say he's quote barely played in the NFL, but if you look at his playing resume, he's actually played quite a bit in the NFL, and this was probably his shortest season of his career. So, certain people that you and me may know that want to chirp at Joe Burrow may want to look twice at his playing resume. I know that he has dealt with injuries, but it's not like he's quote barely played. Yeah, so there is that. While we're on the subject of the Bengals and me thinking about that, Tad, your Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers. Your Minnesota Vikings. They get a winning season, 9-8, and I know how you personally feel about beating the team that they beat. You would have liked to see. It was pretty close to it being a bagel on the left side of the scoreboard, but you get the three. What are your thoughts on that? And more specifically, Tad, where would you rank Clayton Tune amongst backup quarterbacks in the league?
Well, he's actually a third string. I mean, they have Love, and then they have Willis, and then they have Clayton too. And I mean, he went out there and he had a chance to have a moment in the NFL. I mean, it's a learning experience. Obviously, he had a lot of struggle. They didn't really do much with their offense. They kind of were as vanilla as they possibly could be. But like you said, anytime you can beat that team on the other side, it's always a good win. Like I said, I know the significance. I mean, the Packers, they had basically their entire second and third string in the game, so it's not like a reflection of the best version of the Packers. But anytime you see the team with that logo on the other side of the field, I mean, you're going to take some pride in showing up and doing what you do. So for that, the Vikings did just that. But a lot of questions loom in the offseason for Minnesota. And like I said, we'll get into all of that in the offseason content. But with that said, I mean, close the season with some momentum, a 5-game winning streak, winning record. Tip of the cap to the two retiring players. I mean, Harrison hasn't announced it yet, but it's basically assumed that this was his last game. So big moment for him leaving the field. Big moment for CJ Ham getting him into the end zone. He has officially announced that he is retiring from the NFL to focus on family matters after a very successful 10-year career. So one of the best fullbacks in the game. So some big moments there for the Vikings and their fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And Yes, Justin Jefferson does also get over 1,000 yards on the season. What were your thoughts? What were your emotions? What was going through your head when Justin Jefferson broke over 1,000 yards for the season?
Yeah, it's been a real struggle for Jefferson this season. So to be able to cap it the way he did, this was the first time he's been above 100 yards since the Dublin game week 5. So it's been a while. He's had a struggle. The 8 catches were his second most all season. So nice to see him finally build some connection, and hopefully he can take that into the off season. But yeah, I mean, to have 1,000 yards every year of his career so far, just incredible. And he's going to go down as one of the best receivers of all time when it's all said and done. I do believe that.
Absolutely. We have seen a lot of head coach firings, which we'll get into during this episode. One head coach firing that we have not seen yet at the recording of this episode, Tuesday, just after the conclusion of Week 18. The Miami Dolphins losing 38-10 on the road against the New England Patriots. The Patriots did secure the 2 seed with this victory. Yeah, but Quinn Ewers, 23, a touchdown, a sack. He did get sacked 4 times. Yeah, yeah, he did. And I want to say I thought Malik Washington got a touchdown. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
we
he
always
did.
we
Yeah, he
we
did.
as yeah we as red zone watchers love Malik Washington touchdowns. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, Mike McDaniel, as far as we know, still has a job, 7-10. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure they're committed to bringing him back for the next year, so we'll see how that goes. And I mean, I know they've made some
I mean, we
changes.
thought the same thing with John Harbaugh two
I,
days
I
ago.
did not I did not think the same thing with John Harbaugh. I definitely did not. But yeah, with Mike McDaniel, I think they're still going to give him a year, see what happens. Whether or not they should, that could be debated. But Miami, they have a lot of questions to answer as well. The quarterback position. What do you do with Tua? What do you do with Quinn Ewers? I thought Quinn Ewers has looked fine in his first few starts. I mean, he hasn't been perfect, but he's been growing. He's a rookie, so we'll see how what happens there. And the Patriots, I mean, man, they're good.
Yes. I did forget to mention with the previous game that we talked about, a couple of previous games, the Browns and the Bengals. The Browns did win that game and everything, but they did fire head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Mm.
My thoughts on the Browns firing their coach are just really quick. Obviously, just try this thing again. I mean, how many different head coaches is it going to take? I mean, obviously, find a head coach that, they seem pretty committed to Shador Sanders. So maybe they find a coach that can adapt and, evolve around him. I mean, maybe, um, in a perfect world, Dion comes in and takes over as the head coach of the Browns. Not kidding, obviously. But at least that's what Shador would want. But no, in all seriousness, the Browns firing their coach. I mean, they just, I don't know. I didn't think the chemistry was all that much there. I mean, you had one of the best front sevens in the NFL, but outside of that, just kind of seems like it was something that had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's one that makes sense. I mean, it was time, and I mean, Stefanski does some good stuff, but this wasn't the system for him. That was very clear. And another coach that it's very clear that the system wasn't for them is Pete Carroll, who was also let go by the Raiders as
Yes,
well. So, I mean, we know we've had some interesting discussions throughout the year about good old Pete Carroll, but I think it was pretty clear to everyone that he was kind of just a gap type of a coach. He was never going to be the guy long term. So, I think it's going to be a whole new era for the Las Vegas Raiders. So, we'll see what they do moving forward. But like I said, they have some exciting young players. The number one pick, they'll probably bring in a quarterback. So, we'll see how things go there and who wants to come take on that project.
and maybe Pete Carroll just like tries like a different role, like as a
Yeah.
coordinator or something like that somewhere else. I don't know, but for Pete Carroll, maybe it's I don't know. Who knows if he's going to come back to the NFL in some capacity. Who knows if he's just going to retire? We'll see what happens in the offseason with that. But all in all, I mean, I think he's going to go down as one of the best head coaches of all time. And if this was the last time that we ever seen him coach, then it would break my heart. But yeah, just wasn't the right fit with the Raiders. Just not the right system for him at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with Week 18 concluding also comes with head coach firings, which are an unfortunate part of the business. The next head coach firing, the Arizona Cardinals let go of Jonathan Gannon as well, and they also lost to the Rams 37-20. Tad. So yeah, Rams win at home against the Cardinals 37-20. They still did play Matthew Stafford in this game because they were playing for seeding. Jacoby Brissett went out there and was, put up his numbers. I mean, despite getting sacked 6 times, I think it's starting to. We need to start looking at Arizona as possibly having one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. But big reason as to why. I mean, the 3-14 record. I get that the Cardinals battled with health and stuff throughout the season, but yeah, firing their head coach Jonathan Gannon seems like it had to be done if you want to really rebuild this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it was a very disappointing season for Arizona. I mean, I did not think Arizona was going to be a great team. I had them winning 6 games, and they did not come really all that close to that even, which was a low prediction. So I don't know. With Arizona, they have a lot of questions. A lot of people seem to think that Kyler might not be coming back. So we'll see what they do. To me, they need a total franchise reset at this point. They need to get on with making a plan. I mean, we talk about these teams that need to make a plan, and I'd say Arizona is now on that list of teams that needs to get themselves together and have a plan.
And when we do our season recaps, we'll definitely dive way deeper into that.
Yeah.
The week of the Pro Bowl, but yeah, so they let go. Rams win 37-20 there. The Rams will be playing the Panthers in the playoffs, which we'll get into.
The Rams, the 5 seed, big win for the Rams. Matthew Stafford, one last big statement as he tries to wrap up the MVP. It's going to be an intense debate for the next several weeks with him. And we talked about Drake May earlier. So 25 of 42, 49, 4 touchdowns. Big statement there for Matt Stafford.
Yeah, Matty Staffy, he's one of the best there to ever do it. So I mean, the former #1 pick out of the University of Georgia. So I mean, to be honest, there's a current quarterback at Georgia that I feel should be up on the same level. I'm kidding, obviously, but yeah, yeah. Anyways, moving on to the NFL. Um, can you think of was there any more head coach firings?
Obviously we'll talk about the Ravens game when that comes up.
We can just we can talk about that real quick. Yeah. Yeah, Ravens and Steelers. I mean, obviously it was the Sunday night cap. I mean, it was a very emotional game. Yeah, I mean, it went back and forth. I mean, both of these teams had to have it. This was a playoff game before the playoffs started. You kind of feel like, if that field goal gets made, Mike Tomlin probably lost his job. If that field goal gets obviously got missed, then Harbaugh lost his job. I mean, people want to say, I get it, and I truly do. You look at the stat sheet. Derrick Henry, 20 carries for 126 yards, but even you look at that amazing line, and it's still not enough. I mean, it's a travesty that is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such a weird second half where Baltimore hardly had the ball at all in the second half just because of and credit to Pittsburgh. I mean, they had a lot of good like ball control. They converted their third downs. They made the plays they have to make. They took advantage of a very depleted defense that was down Kyle Hamilton. They were down their top cornerback. So it was a real struggle for Baltimore to cover. and to make tackles. And Aaron Rodgers, being the intellectual he is, took advantage of that. So he had a very solid game, and it was in the end, it was enough to just hold off. I mean, it was a game that literally came down to the last kick. I mean, that's what more could the NFL ask for than a game like that to close out the season?
Yeah, absolutely. Rodgers doing the right thing by finding Calvin Austin in the end zone the way that he did. You know, you definitely felt like that was a very Aaron Rodgers moment there. So the four-time MVP, one-time Super Bowl champion, doing his thing out there. Vikings fans loving to see that, I'm sure. Um, yeah. So Steelers win over the Ravens 26-24. John Harbaugh fired after 18 seasons. Uh, and he did win a Super Bowl back in 2013. Did have a winning record. It just, yeah. I mean, you know, they were talking about they followed a comprehensive evaluation of the season, and they decided to make that change. It was obviously a tough decision, but yeah, seeing John Harbaugh go as the head coach of the Ravens, I have very mixed feelings about it. I mean, I personally hate to see him go, but you know, just uh, you got to be able to win these big games. You got to be able to win in these big moments, and it's like, yeah, Derrick Henry 20 catches for 120 carries for 126 yards, but like Derrick Henry is the type of running back that you can have a stat line where he like it's not ridiculous at whatsoever, John, to say like even if he did rush for over 200 yards, like why not? He's that amazing. He's quite literally that amazing. Like if I was like playing Madden with him, I mean, come on now, like you got that's how you had to think about it, John. And I don't know, just not enough times where you weren't giving Derrick Henry the ball. And I mean, that's sad to think about when you look at it on paper, but I mean, when you look at it on the field and on television, it's just he's Derrick Henry, and you got to use him more. I mean, 20 carries just not enough for the King.
I mean, Baltimore is in a phase in their franchise where they need to start winning these big games. They've been in big games for the better part of the last decade now. And I mean, John Harbaugh did a lot of good. And I think when things simmer down and when people have a chance to look back and take like a wider view of his tenure in Baltimore, I think he should be viewed as a widely successful head coach. I mean, he had a great run in Baltimore. I mean, he wins a Super Bowl ring, and that's forever. But with the way things are going, and with the way Baltimore just inexplicably loses these close games, and they've done so for the past 5 years, I'd say, and I mean, I'm a Vikings fan. We lose a lot of weird games the same way, but I've never seen anyone lose as many games that there's just no real explanation for than the Baltimore Ravens. So some of that has to be coaching, and somebody has to take the fall for that. Obviously, it's not going to be the MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP. It's so somebody has to face consequences for that, and it's unfortunate that that's how it turns out, but that's just the way the NFL works, unfortunately. They need to win now, and it wasn't happening. So I think the change makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. You don't want it to make sense. I mean, I
No.
feel like if you are a Ravens fan, like this is the kind of head coaching relationship that you wanted to work. Like you wanted it to work out.
Oh yeah.
Like he's such a class act. Like he's such a good guy. He's such a great personality. It's just I think it was time for him and the Ravens to move on.
Agreed.
But yeah, yeah, you never like to see a long-term head coach break up with a franchise like that, essentially, if you will. Yeah. So yeah, you were mentioning the Broncos getting the one seed. They went 19-3 over the LA Chargers. Real quick, Tad, where would you rank Trey Lance amongst backup quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah, I think after what we've seen out of Trey Lance, I mean, it's hard to rank him all that highly among backup quarterbacks. I mean, I admit he was facing a high level defense, arguably the best in the league, but I mean, the numbers just tend to speak for themselves. It's really unfortunate to see the way his career has unfolded because I think he had a lot of potential to be a quality player, but it's just not turned out that way. Maybe his injuries in the past have something to do with that. I don't know, but it's clear that his potential is not nearly as high as what we'd had hoped it could be.
I mean, I like I said, I've always like felt for Trey Lance, like given his history and everything at North Dakota State, how he came into the league, and I just like I don't know, like I was happy that he was getting some playing time in the NFL, and that he was putting up good numbers. Like obviously, I wanted my Broncos to win, and they did. But I was just really happy for like Trey Lance to go out there and get some playing time in the NFL. I just hated that it had to be against my team because like if it was against like any other team, like it wouldn't have been so like I guess like a complicated dynamic. Some people even maybe questioning why I wanted Trey Lance to play good. And I mean I get it, but you can't help but be a fan of the guy and everything that he's been through in this league and what he brings to the game of football. And he's just an upstanding guy, number five, Trey Lance. Uh, yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next game, which will be Giants versus Dallas. Yeah, that's great for them. 34-17. The Giants did, or the Cowboys fired their defensive coordinator, Tad. And I think that was with or without Micah Parsons. I mean, we'll go ahead and say, the whole bit that we've said all season long. But I mean, even without Micah Parsons, the defensive performance just wasn't there this season.
Yeah, I mean, one of the worst defenses in the league. Very unfortunate to see out of Dallas. I mean, I don't know. I always thought it was going to be a weird year for them. I thought they'd be more competitive. I don't know. I predicted kind of a poor season for them in retrospect, but and I turns out that was kind of fairly spot on. I had them going 6-11.
And with that being said, now I mean, where would you rank Matt Eberflus all time amongst head court coaches and or coordinators in the NFL all time?
I mean, this was like I said, with what he's done with the defense this year, it's an all-time poor job, unfortunately to say. So he needs to go find a way for him to reinvent himself. And if he wants to stick in the profession, he needs to completely reinvent himself and figure a lot of things out.
Oh, maybe he might be like a better fit in like say even like the college game. Who knows?
Perhaps.
Uh, but yeah, let's see. Bears and Lions. Yeah, you know, two-point conversions in the fourth quarter. The Bears were making a comeback despite being down 13-0. But the Lions, I mean, they wanted to play spoiler to their division rivals, and they did today, winning 19-16.
Very, very strange game of football. I mean, to see one team being completely eliminated from the playoffs and one team as the secured division champion. And I mean, if we would have said that at the beginning of the season, we would have assumed that it was flipped around with Detroit being the champion and Chicago being eliminated. So I don't know. A lot of credit to Chicago for how they played this season. Detroit was the better team in this game. Chicago, they did have the spirited comeback, but not enough. So 9-8 for Detroit. The entire NFC North finishes above 500 on the season, which is incredible to think about in retrospect with where some of these teams were in the middle of the season. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting vibe to see Chicago. They do still end up as the number two seed in the playoffs. So we'll really have to see how this team, um, how they keep it together.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to see. I mean, they got a big game coming up in the playoffs, which we'll get into. So Yeah, Bears finish 11-6. Detroit, crazy, crazy season for them.
Mm.
Definitely not what we anticipated whatsoever. Texans beat the Colts 38-30. Yeah, Riley Leonard. It was cool to see some Riley Leonard action today. 21-34, 2 touchdowns and an interception. You also did see a one Mr. Rigoberto Sanchez make a pass, so that was cool. Um, yeah, Tad. I mean, the Texans. I believe they started off like what 1-5, and they just got absolutely hot to end their season 12-5. I mean, they're gonna go to the playoffs, and I mean, the Colts, who started 7-1, finished 8-9. I mean, health played a major factor, obviously, but um, Sauce Gardner, just he was really hoping to be a playoff man this year. It just didn't happen for him. So hopefully the Colts can stay healthy. But we'll get more into that when we do the season recaps. But yeah, I mean, this was just a really good win for Houston today.
Oh yeah, Houston, they win, they lock up the number 5 seed, so a big win for them. Very interesting decision making there by Houston, in my opinion, to not play their starters in the second half. They did end up doing just enough to win. So credit to like Davis Mills, British Brooks, the backups to finish that out. So it was a win they needed. I mean, I think it's a much easier path for them as the 5 seed as opposed to being a 6 or a 7 seed. So
Yeah.
credit to the reserves for finishing that out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the Commanders played spoiler to their division rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles will go to the playoffs, win the NFC East, but I'm very interested again. I mean, if you're a follower of Hard Knocks in season with the NFC East, then you're really looking forward to seeing the cinematic view on this game, like the behind the scenes cinematic footage on Hard Knocks in season with the NFC East on HBO Max. Uh, for anybody that maybe might be interested in that, some fun action to see. I bet Josh Johnson, 14 of 22, 131 yards, a touchdown, interception. I mean, Josh Johnson, I mean, he's a fairly serviceable enough backup. I mean, this was definitely like the backup bowl. I mean, Tank Bigsby got some time. Tanner McKee got some time. I mean, and who doesn't like to see a Tanner McKee touchdown to their backup tight end, Calcaterra? So, or is he a tight? Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
tight
he
end.
is.
So, I mean, yeah, Grant Calcaterra, number 81. So, haters of Tanner McKee would say otherwise, but fans of Tanner McKee really loved to see it. So, just some good hot content on the Red Zone season
Mhm.
finale. Uh,
For
yeah,
me, it was really befuddling decision making by Philly to not play their starters. If they would have won, they would have been the 2 seed. So now instead of being the 2 seed, they'll be the 3 seed. So they'll have to face San Francisco instead of Green Bay. That's some interesting decision making there by Philly, in my opinion.
yeah, absolutely for sure. Buffalo, they beat the Jets 35-8. Mitchell Trubisky gets some playing time, 22 of 29, 4 touchdowns. Ray Davis, even 21 carries for 151 yards. Very much a scrimmage matchup. Um, and I mean, for the Jets, 3-14. I mean, we'll definitely get into the Jets when we do our season recaps, but not the season they wanted whatsoever. So yeah, Buffalo. Uh, yeah, and we'll get into their playoff matchup. But they do beat the Jets 35-8. There was nothing really crazy about this game. I mean, nothing really that stood out to me necessarily.
The Jets finished the season with no interceptions. That's just a mind-boggling stat for a
Yeah,
secondary like that to not have a single interception.
yes, absolutely for sure. Um, so there's that game. There's the Philly. There's Baltimore, Pittsburgh. We pretty much have covered that side of the list. The 41-7 Tennessee Jacksonville. Your Vikings won. Cleveland won. We talked about the Giants. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Boy, this was a hot game. This was a hot game. Panthers players and yeah, Panthers and Buccaneers players um, could not relax while watching from their TVs. They couldn't help it. Yes, you have here, Tad, the NFC South title determination game. I don't know. That's kind of like my name that I came up for it. Like, what would you have called this game? I mean, it's just like it's crazy to think like just how in fact this game did determine the NFC South title.
Yeah, I mean, I've called it the NFC South Championship by proxy is the term I use for it. Just a very wild scenario that two teams that were both eliminated several games ago end up being the determining factor in the division. Atlanta has been eliminated for well over a month, and they end up tied for first in the division. I mean, the NFC South, just a very interesting situation there with three, 8, and 9 teams atop the division, and just at that point, you put it all up to a tiebreaker. So at that point, like, if you want to like avoid a tiebreaker, just win more games. That's a wild scenario.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just mind blowing to see how the NFC South went. I mean, they're a whole vibe, the NFC South. Um, I mean, a very competitive division, and you loved to see it, and so much competitive that even the New Orleans Saints, the team that we predicted the Saints would have the worst record in the NFL, and here the Saints are like literally being a factor into who was going to win this division on week 18. So credit to the Saints for coming out here and being a team like that, even with how rough their season has gone.
Yeah, definitely credit there, credit to the Saints and the Falcons. They put on a competitive game that had the entire NFC South on their toes. And I mean, Atlanta, I mean, they do end the season on a hot streak. They get the win 19-17. They clinch the division for Carolina, not for themselves, but for Carolina. So wild scenario there. And even despite the strong end to the season for Atlanta, they did also let go of their head coach, Raheem Morris. So that is one more head coach situation there that we'll be looking at. But nice to see them win. A lot of questions. What does Kirk Cousins do? What did they do at quarterback? Nice to see Kirko go out with a win if this is his last game with Atlanta.
I mean, well, I certainly hope it isn't. And yeah, it is unfortunate that the Falcons did fire Raheem Morris. We were kind of big on him at first, but uh, I mean, obviously, just might not have been the right system. The might not have been the right players for him. So I think Raheem Morris is a good NFL coach. Just
I
don't
do
think.
too.
I just don't think Atlanta was the greatest of fits for him necessarily. Um, yeah, Tad. So there was that. And then you had the game itself that could have determined the NFC South. Had this team would have won, the Panthers losing to the Buccaneers 14-16 today. Bryce Young, I mean, but however, the Panthers are the NFC South champions despite this loss. So very weird again, the NFC South. And I mean, does Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans had to have been absolutely freaking heaved when the Falcons won that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, you'd never imagine a scenario where Tampa Bay fans are so devastated that the Saints of all teams lost a game because like these are two of the biggest rivals in the division, the Saints and the Buccaneers. But I don't know. Maybe the Saints just dropped the game on purpose just to put one over on Tampa Bay. I don't know. In all seriousness, of course they played to win, but you never know. But yeah, just a weird season there at Tampa Bay. I mean, an unbelievably disappointing end to the season for a team that We both picked to win the division. I did have them going 10-7, Carolina 9-8. So technically they both fell a bit below my projections, but yeah, Carolina, I mean, at this point with where they are in their franchise, you'll take a playoff berth any way you can get it. It breaks their streak of not being in the playoffs. So a big win there to get into the playoffs. What they're gonna do next, we'll see how that goes. So I don't know. Credit to both teams for putting it on the line there. Also credit to the rookie receiver, T-Mac, Tataroa McMillan, getting over 1,000 yards on the season in his rookie year. That's a solid accomplishment in this offense.
Oh yeah, very solid accomplishment indeed. So I don't know. And then yeah, Tedero McMillan, one of the. I mean, listen, he's a key piece into what the Panthers are going to keep reshaping and moving forward with. Seattle beat the 49ers. I saved this one for last because I mean, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the result and the starting quarterback who took the L, but yeah, your boy, former Vikings Sam Darnold, outperforming former Ames, Iowa quarterback from Iowa State, Brock Purdy. What was your thoughts and takes on that?
It was a very strangely defensive game. Um, it feels like Seattle could have scored a lot more points, and it didn't happen. But they do earn the one seed. Jackson Smith and Jigba, he earns the receiving title as well. Credit to him there. Also credit to James Cook for winning the rushing title for Buffalo. We didn't mention that. I kind of forgot to bring that up. So credit to both of them for winning their titles. But anyways, back to Seattle. Like Sam Darnold was pretty much under control for most of the game, which you don't always see in a big spot. I mean, we know that was the one mark against him last year with having the winner take the one seed game last season at the end of the year that did not go so well. So nice to see him get some redemption there. And just can Seattle continue to protect Sam Darnold? If he's under protection and has a clean pocket, he's going to do what he can to carve up the defense. If he's under pressure, can he make a big throw under pressure in a big moment? That's the one real question NFL fans have against Sam Darnold. So, will he rise to the moment if the situation calls for it?
I mean, we're gonna find out and see.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Depending on who they play, I mean, they do earn the number one seed in the NFC, so we'll find out for sure. But yeah, the red zone season finale was freaking awesome. I mean, I don't know. There was lots of great plays, lots of big moments. You always hate to see it end and everything like that, but we now get into the playoffs. Be sure to stay tuned for during the Pro Bowl week for season recaps and more in depth of each team. Um, yeah, but now we get into these NFL playoffs. Yeah, Tad. All things looking forward and previewing a super wild card weekend coming up. We got 6 matchups: 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. So we'll spend the next good chunk of time going over these. Yeah, so we will go ahead and start with the Panthers and the Rams. Yeah. So, yeah, Tad. Uh, last time the Panthers and the Rams met up, I mean, the Panthers did emerge victorious. So, I mean, the biggest thing for me is, obviously Bryce Young is going to come out. I mean, Bryce Young is going to have like just the absolute best game of his entire life. You're going to need to protect up front against the very feisty, um, Rams defense, especially against guys like you know, Byron Young, who's having an incredible season. 45 solo tackles, 12 sacks, a forced fumble. So he's one of their best defensive players. He's gonna be really getting after Bryce Young, going to be trying to attack the offensive line as well. So I mean, the offensive line is going to have to really come out here and play the game of their life. The Rams are heavy favorites in this game, being at Carolina and everything. But this is the spread. Let's see. Right now, it's a -10 according to DraftKings for the Rams. So just going to be very interesting to see how that goes from the offensive side of things for the Panthers. On defense, I mean, just absolutely. I mean, bring all the pressure you can on Matthew Stafford. You're going to have to make Matthew Stafford very uncomfortable. The secondary is going to be absolutely tested against guys like Puka Nakua, being able to go out there and beat you in any kind of way. Kyron Williams, even. I mean, Kyron Williams can even be a threat in the receiving game. I mean, Matthew Stafford is going to, do everything he can to pick apart this secondary. I mean, there's a reason the Rams are heavy favorites in this game, but I think the ultimate difference is if the Panthers want to win, I mean, you got to get the ball to guys like Teteroa McMillan. You got to feed Rico Dowdle to compete with that. So I mean, I don't know. This is a very infatuating matchup. I want to
Yeah.
sit here and say that the Rams are gonna probably come in here and take this, but if the Panthers do all the right things, I mean they can do it and or at least compete, keep us the fans on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, for sure. I think the big thing for Carolina is can they make big plays down the field? Um, you talked about McMillan, of course. He's their number one receiver. Can he steal a play downfield, make a big play, make a man miss, get a long touchdown? But I'm also wondering if some of their other receivers can step up. Guys like Jalen Coker, he's had a quietly solid year. Xavier Legette was drafted very highly. Can he have a big moment? He's had a bit of a disappointing start to his career, so can he make a big moment when the situation calls for it? Tommy Tremble, Mitchell Evans, guys like that in the tight end room. Unfortunate that Jatavian Sanders is injured and won't be available, so that could be a factor. But just can the Panthers offense block long enough to make big throws down the field, give Bryce Young an opportunity to be the player that he has the potential to be in this game? Like you said, the Rams, they're going to make that very difficult. They have a very high level front seven. So it's going to be a big task for like the offensive line for Carolina. You're going to have your running backs helping with blocking as well, perhaps a tight end. So can they make enough plays down the field to give themselves a chance to win the game? And if the situation calls on it, can Bryce Young connect with his receiver in a big spot to win the game? I mean, that's what we're all wondering to see.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I mean the Rams got one of the best offenses in the NFL. I mean,
Yes,
I want to say that, and I mean, as far as the Panthers with offense and defense, it's definitely on the lower tier. And I mean, the Rams defense is even like I don't know, top. You could say the Rams defense is like a top 10 defense too. I mean, it's just I mean, this is a classic David versus Goliath matchup,
for
except
sure.
David has home field advantage. So we will see. I mean, this would be amazing for Bryce Young, but hey, even if Bryce Young like doesn't emerge victorious, I just think it's a beautiful for Bryce Young to get playoff exposure and be in the playoffs and like have that accomplishment to add to his
Agreed.
resume.
Agreed. I think this really sets the table for a big year next year for Carolina.
Yeah, just making the playoffs is absolutely huge and absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to really watching this game. Tad, I know that you're a Vikings fan. and everything like that. Um, but you have to talk about the two teams, your two division rivals. They're going to be playing each other. It's the most historic rivalry in the NFL. The Packers and the Bears, and boy, do we the NFL fans get treated to another version of it, and this time in the playoffs, and one of them's going to get to go home, and that'll be crazy. Dontavian Wicks is still questionable with the concussion protocol. So he may or may not play. Obviously, Roma Dunze still struggling with an injury to his foot. DJ Moore listed as questionable right now. Even CJ Gardner Johnson. So as far as the injury notage, that is worth to be noted. But obviously these two teams, I mean, when they've met, I mean, they've met, they've met a couple of times already, and both games were absolutely close. I mean, I think Caleb Williams has come out here and he's had an incredible second year. And I mean, Jordan Love wants to take it to the next level. He wants to be that guy. He wants to show what he can do, but he has everything going against. And this is going to listen. This is going to be a hostile environment at Soldier Field here in Chicago. Now, I know the Packers fans are going to show up, and there's going to be quite a bit of them at this game. But I mean, Soldier Field, their first home playoff game in I don't know how many years. I I mean, I don't see the Bears losing this game. I'll probably have to
Yeah.
go with the Bears. I mean, like it's just a very intriguing matchup. I mean, obviously, like for Green Bay on defense, I mean, you're going to have to make Caleb Williams absolutely comfortable. You're going to have to get after guys like DeAndre Swift. You're going to have to shut the running game down early because the Bears can run the football. Okay, I mean, you got guys like Kyle Monunga, you got guys like DeAndre Swift. They can. I mean, especially DeAndre Swift. I mean, he's like quietly having like a really good season. So,
Low
um,
key.
I mean, the Bears are quietly having like one of the best seasons in the backfield in the running back room. And I mean, they rushed the ball quite a bit. So
And Caleb himself can run too. I mean, that's a big part of their offense.
So for the Bears, they're going to need to run the ball. They're going to need to stick to their brand of football, especially in the first two quarters. They're going to need to wear out that Packers front seven early. And then you
Mhm.
hope maybe in the second half you can explode for like a big play or two, especially if Roma Dunze. I mean, I highly doubt, like, I mean, I'm seeing this injury list, and you want to think that most of these guys are probably going to make the push to play. And even Colston Loveland. I mean, Colston Loveland is absolutely insane. And I think like I could even see Colston Loveland like breaking out for a big play in this game. But as far as the Packers on defense, like yeah, they're gonna have to really shut that down. But the Packers on offense, um, Jordan Love is. I mean, you got a lot of your receivers back. You're gonna have to like stick to Packer football. I mean, find guys like Jaden Reed. If Dontavian Wicks plays, maybe get him involved. Um, I mean, your offensive line is absolutely going to need to hold up. I mean, this is just such an infatuating matchup, and I mean, it really could go either way. And I mean, it's going to be a hot game of football. I mean, this is going to be an insane game of football.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I was really expecting, but I saw that the spread on this game is that the Packers are actually favored by 1.5 points in this game. I did find that to be maybe a bit surprising, maybe not, given the history and how things go. I think for Chicago to win this game, they're going to have to run the ball at an incredibly high level. I could trust them to win a game like this in the playoffs if they're running the ball. I don't particularly trust Caleb Williams to make a big time throw if they need it. Um, he's good with his feet, uh, but if he has to make like a tough contested pass, I don't know if I trust him to be able to make that play. So we'll see how that goes. This is a huge game for Caleb Williams to maybe prove me wrong, prove a lot of people wrong, because there's a lot of people that still question his abilities, question if he can throw the football, how well he can do that, which is really crazy to say in a word because like he did become the Bears all-time leading passer for a single season in week 18. So that's something very interesting to note. The Bears, of course, the only team in the league to have never had a 4,000 yard passer. So very crazy there. But with all that being said, I mean, the Packers, they're going to have to generate a lot of good pressure and they're going to have to be able to make difficult tackles in space. I mean, that's what the Bears offense is working on. I mean, they have to break tackles, they have to avoid getting hit. So if the Packers can get pressure, which is going to be tough without Micah Parsons, of course, the big injury there, very much unfortunate. And you certainly hate to see that. You want to see everyone at their best in playoff time, and that is not what we're getting without Micah Parsons. I think that is worthy of noting. So maybe the Packers offense are going to have to make a few more explosive plays to swing the momentum. Can Jordan Love be the guy to make that throw? Can Josh Jacobs have a very efficient game? I mean, Josh Jacobs a very underrated running back in the league, in my opinion. He's quietly consistent with what he does. He had, of course, that big streak to start the season with scoring and touchdowns and consecutive games and all that. And of course, he's been a bit hampered with the injury late in the season, so probably good for them to get a full rest for their starters in the last game. So really interesting to see what we get out of the Packers. They're going to have to make some plays down the field to swing momentum.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I mean, Josh Jacobs. I mean, also Josh Jacobs is easily a top five running back in this league. I mean, Josh Jacobs is, I mean, gonna probably be the X factor too for the Packers. If Josh Jacobs can like break away for like a big run or a big touchdown, I could see that happening. That could be a big major difference in that factor too, Tad. So just again, like a very infatuating game of football. I would probably, but again, I'll probably go ahead myself and take the Bears. To come out on top. I mean, just being the fact that it's at Soldier Field, and I mean, it's the Bears' first home playoff game in just so long. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if I had to truly pick right here on the air, I'll take the Bears.
I'll go Bears.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. I mean, I know as a Minnesota Vikings fan, if you had to pick one to root for, and never, ever, ever could you root for the Packers. I mean, not that you're
Sure.
quote rooting for any of these teams, but obviously I troll a little when I say that. But yeah. Next on the slate, Buffalo versus Jacksonville. I mean, you look at Buffalo versus Jacksonville, Todd, the noon game on Sunday. It's sunny Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, this is going to be just such an amazing game to watch. The weather is predicted to be like, yeah, 61 degrees. I mean, Buffalo for, I mean, Buffalo's used to playing a lot of cold, snowy games in the playoffs. That won't be the case today when they go on the road to play the Jacksonville Jaguars, you know, who won the AFC South and everything like that. And I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, who threw for over 4,000 yards this year, Josh Allen, who threw for 3,668 yards. I mean, you got Travis Etienne Jr., you got James Cook, the two running backs. The receiving rooms are a little interesting. I mean, the quarterback rooms are freaking awesome. The running back rooms are freaking awesome. The receiver
Yeah.
rooms, I mean, that's going to be probably the biggest thing is like which between these two receiving rooms, Tad, which one of them can make the bigger play? I mean, if one of these receivers can make a bigger play than the other receiving room, that's going to be interesting because, I mean, like yeah, you know, like Brian. Let's see, is Brian Thomas Jr.
He's had a really rough year.
Yeah,
Um,
Brian Thomas Jr. kind of having an interesting year, but Washington's doing good, you know, and then as far as Buffalo, I mean, yeah, Shakir, Coleman. I mean, there's tons of options to go to. Really, Todd, I think what the biggest difference that's good. I mean, we know what the offenses can do. The biggest difference, I think, of determining the winner and loser in this game could be the defenses.
Oh yeah, I certainly think that the defenses are going to play a big factor, and I think Jacksonville is one of the more slept on teams in the league. Like, I don't think a lot of people really realize just how well Jacksonville has been playing since the start of the season. I mean, they started the year 5-4, and they have not lost since. They have been dominant the back half of the season. I mean, they've beaten good teams by very good margins. I mean, they beat the Chargers 35-6. They beat the one seed in the AFC, the Broncos, 34-20 on the road. And I mean, nobody beats the Broncos defense that bad. That was, I mean, I don't know if I want to say surprising, but that was a very interesting result. And I think it just speaks to just how high of a level Jacksonville is playing at. And it's really nice to see guys like Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne reaching the potential that Jacksonville saw when they drafted these players. I mean, this is a very good team, and I think they are a threat that ought to be taken seriously in the AFC. I mean, very slept on. Their defense is playing at a very high level as well. I mean, this is a team that I wouldn't want to mess with. So, and of course, we know what Buffalo is. Buffalo plays very strong football as well. So, I mean, this is probably the most exciting playoff game of the first round to me. I think either of these teams, whoever wins this game, could be a real threat to come out of the conference.
Yeah, I mean, it's just very interesting. I mean, because like, yeah, you want to think you could argue a case that both of these teams could come out of the conference. Uh, like for Jacksonville, though, I mean, you're gonna have to like. I feel like you're gonna have to force Buffalo to beat you via running the ball versus passing the ball. If you allow Josh Allen to get too comfortable throwing the ball, he there's no way Buffalo loses this game. I mean, I feel like you're going to have to literally force James Cook to beat you. You're going to have to force Josh Allen to beat you with his legs. I
Which he
mean,
can do.
which he can't do. So, if I'm Jacksonville, I'm focusing on that. That's like the absolute biggest thing. Um, obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to have to go out there and do his thing as well on the other side of the ball, but I think the biggest difference is going to be the Jacksonville front seven and getting after Josh Allen and making Josh Allen extremely uncomfortable in the pocket. That is what you're going to have to do to win this game because, if Josh Allen gets that time in the pocket, I mean, there's no way the Bills, I mean, this could be a game where if you don't shut down Josh Allen early, he can start to cook. And I mean, I have no
Yeah.
doubts that he can if you don't shut him down early.
And I mean, I gotta say, I feel very strongly about Jacksonville's front seven. I mean, you got guys like Foyesde Oluokun, Josh Allen, Josh Hines Allen, I should say, the other Josh Allen. So one way or the other, Josh Allen will be advancing to the next round of the playoffs. Just which Josh Allen will it be? So Eric Armstead, Trayvon Walker. I mean, these are some players that can make some real plays. And I mean, a lot of people just don't talk about this team because like they're not a flashy team. They're not always a team that gets all the media hype, but these guys just show up and play ball. And I think that's a beautiful thing to watch this team do. And also, another thing worth mentioning on Jacksonville is they have one of the better kickers in the league in Cam Little. I mean, he is on an absolutely torrid stretch for the last several months. I mean, of course, with that 67-yard field goal he hit against Tennessee on the last game, he's been absolutely incredible. I mean, and if it comes down to a big kick, I mean, you'd feel pretty comfortably about Jacksonville getting the job done there. So I don't know. I feel really good about Jacksonville having a strong chance to win this game. And I know a lot of people might not be picking them, but I'd say watch out for Jacksonville.
I'm gonna have to go with the Bills. I mean, again, this is like everybody wants to see it. We want to see the Bills make their Super Bowl run. We want to see Josh Allen get his ring. And I mean, if the only thing that was stopping if like at the beginning of the season, as we said, if the only thing that was stopping Josh Allen from doing that was Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, then there's nothing that's going to stop Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So I will take the Bills. Like again, like if the Jaguars want a fighting chance, they're going to have to do the things that we mentioned and the things that I mentioned from my perspective. But I mean, again, this is just the start of it. Like, let this be the start of the historic run for the Buffalo Bills. And of course, I mean, I could be proven dead wrong on Sunday, but
One could go either way.
I mean, it really could. I mean, this is arguably probably going to be like the best game of the entire wild card weekend. So we, in fact, will see what happens. Yeah, the next game, the San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles had Brock Purdy. He's going to play in the playoffs. And I mean, he's been in this territory before against the Philadelphia Eagles on the road in the NFC Championship game a couple of seasons ago, where if he didn't immediately get hurt, you might have figured that the 49ers could have had a different result in that game. So now things come back full circle. Here you are another time in the playoffs at Philly. I mean, it's a little bit of a different vibe this time, but I mean, the 49ers, they go all the way across the country to play the Eagles. And like, here's the thing, like, both of these teams could argue. I mean, all season long, we in the NFC playoffs are a lot weirder than the AFC playoffs, mind you. But when I look at this game between the 49ers and the Eagles, I mean, you don't want to sit here and think that like, oh, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, Zach Bond, even. I mean, have they had a shaky regular season, especially towards the back half? Yes. And may I mind you that we are about to see the two best running backs in the NFL. Well, actually, two of the three best running backs in the NFL, I should say. Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley. Tad, I mean, I could probably sit here and say that like the winner of this football game probably comes down to which one of these two has the better performance between Saquon and Christian. I mean, just the fact that these two men are going to be in the same building at the same time at the same place with
Mm-hmm.
high stakes on the line. I mean, that's just amazing within itself. Um, Now, does Brock Purdy come in here and just simply outduel Jalen Hurts, the reigning Super Bowl champion? I mean, these are the Philly, they're the defending champs. I mean, that's something to be absolutely noted. And I mean, I don't think they're going to take this game lightly whatsoever. I think they're going to come out here, they're going to give it their all. Um, for San Francisco on defense, you have to shut down the running game. You can't let Saquon get comfortable. You can't let Jalen get comfortable. I mean, you're going to have to. I mean, I don't know how many blitz packages or things like that you're going to have to come out with, but you cannot let Jalen get comfortable. You can't. And a Dallas Goddard, worth noting, is still listed as questionable right now. Trent Williams, the star offensive tackle, he's listed as questionable. Obviously, Fred Warner, he is on the injured reserve list right now. I mean, if the 49ers were to make the Super Bowl, he could potentially play in that.
He
But
thinks he'll be back for the championship game, the NFC championship game. We'll see if that's reality, but that's what he thinks.
yeah, so, so that's also worth noting. You're going to be without Fred Warner, your best defensive player. So for the 49ers, I think this is going to just have to be the absolute game of a lifetime from Christian McCaffrey. I mean, it's just that simple. You're going to have the game of a lifetime out of Christian McCaffrey, the game of a lifetime out of Mr. Brock Purdy. I mean, it's going to be a hostile crowd and a hostile environment. Philly's first home playoff game when they're the defending champs. I mean, I will probably pick the Eagles. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Eagles to win this football game. But I mean, you're going to have the game of a lifetime out of Christian McCaffrey.
I don't particularly trust either of these offenses to make plays. I think this is going to be a very defensive game. I really trust the Eagles secondary, the Eagles front seven to take advantage of the 49ers offense, especially if Trent Williams isn't in the game. If Trent Williams is not available, that would be a huge concern for San Francisco. They need him to be blocking against this ferocious front seven. So, I mean, I would be very concerned, and I would certainly pick the Eagles without question if he's not playing. If he is playing, then I think it'll be a lot more interesting. Um, you never know what kind of a game you're going to get out of McCaffrey. Of course, he can always be a game breaker. He can always change the narrative, flip the game on its head. Um, can either of the wide receiver units make a play? That's a big question I have. Because we have elite tight end play from both teams with George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the league, and Dallas Goedert, of course, the best tight end in his division, without question. So that's going to be a big question mark for me. Can we get good play from the receivers? AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, both over 1,000 yards on the regular season, but it feels like there's a lot of games where the Eagles' passing attack goes really quiet, especially in the second half. Now, are we going to get in a position where the Eagles need to pass the ball? I mean, we don't know. I mean, they could just completely run the ball, dominate that way, get stops, and not need to throw a pass in the second half. There's games like that. But I don't think the Eagles can win like that long term in the playoffs. I think they're going to need something from their passing offense at some point in the playoffs. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not comfortable saying that they're going to do that. I don't know if they're able to do that when they need to. So I have some concerns there, but I do think the Eagles find a way to win this one at home.
I mean, I feel like the vibe. I mean, to kind of respond to what you just said. I mean, they still are. They still got one of the best receiving rooms in the NFL. And I mean, the vibe and the dynamics could totally, absolutely, like they could absolutely flip a switch because it's the playoffs now. But I also hear what you're saying. Uh, yeah. So, are you picking Philly or are you picking San Francisco?
Yeah, I said I trust the Eagles to get enough in this one at home to finish the job. Yeah, the Eagles.
For sure. Um, Chargers versus the Patriots. The Sunday night matchup on NBC. Yeah. So the LA Chargers, they go on the road to play the Patriots. I mean, this is an intriguing matchup. Justin Herbert versus Drake May. I mean, just such an intriguing matchup. I mean, Drake May having an incredible season, 4,394 yards. Uh, I mean, absolutely expect Stephon Diggs to get involved heavily early and often throughout this one. For me, the biggest thing is probably going to have to be the blocking up front by the LA Chargers. You're going to have to really allow Justin Herbert time to throw, time to be able to make good decisions. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Amarion Hampton is currently listed as questionable. I mean, it just says an ankle injury, so we'll see if he does end up playing. It
Yeah,
would
I'm
be
sure
tough
he'll be
to,
playing.
it would be absolutely tough to play without Omarion Hampton, but uh, yeah. So I mean, but that's going to be probably the biggest thing is you're going to have to get Omarion Hampton involved and early. Omarion Hampton, even in the receiving game, going to have to get him involved and early. If the Chargers can get like a big explosive play or two down the field and cook the Patriots secondary, I mean, they'll have a fighting chance because outside of that, it's going to be a pretty gritty, hard nosed football game. I mean, looking at the weather right now, it's supposed to be just kind of clear, 35 degrees. So a cold game as expected in New England, and the Chargers aren't as used to that as the Patriots are. So that also could play a factor. Is it's going to be a cold outdoor game for the Chargers. Uh, But another, yeah, and I talked about big explosive plays down the field, and that's going to start with star wide receiver Lad McConkey.
Oh yeah, I mean the Chargers have playmakers. They have Lad, of course. You can also count on guys like Quentin Johnston and maybe even rookie Trey Harris. Maybe you get a big possession play by Keenan Allen, the veteran, the seasoned veteran at that. So my concern with the Chargers is not their receivers. It is not the quarterback play. My concern with the Chargers is who is going to block. Are they going to be able to block long enough? Like you said, with all the injuries they've had on the offensive line this year, I certainly can't trust their offensive line to get the job done. And I mean, it's a next man up mentality. That's what the NFL is. That's what the NFL will always be. So the guys that they have to step up and make the plays. Can they do that against the Patriots front seven, against the Patriots blitzing? That's going to be the big question. If they cannot, I don't think the Chargers really have much of a chance to win this game. I think it's going to come down to their offensive line.
Yeah, I mean the Chargers are going to absolutely block up front. I mean, you know, I think they've had a really good season, the Chargers, and they're a good team, and they're going to have to really make Drake May uncomfortable. I mean, you want to figure that the Chargers are kind of more like of the veteran presence. And I mean, Harbaugh, he's been here before. He's been in these situations before. But I mean, so is Mike Vrabel. So I mean, this is going to be a very intriguing coaching matchup too between Harbaugh and Vrabel.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's going to really come down to which coach can dial up the better scheme in that way of what we've been describing. The Patriots
And
are a minus 3.5 point favorite at home. It looks like the over under spread is 46 and a half. I'd probably go under on the 46 and a half because I do feel
yeah.
like the defenses are probably going to get pretty involved. I mean, there's going to be big time sacks. There's going to be big time interceptions. I full heartedly believe that.
And you have to remember also, it's going to be Drake May's first ever playoff game. So that is a big pressure spot for a second year quarterback to have to overtake. So, I mean, he's had an incredible regular season. He very well could be the MVP of the league, depending on how that goes. There's going to be a debate there. He'll either be first or he'll be second. But the pressure ramps up to a whole nother level in the playoffs. Will Drake May be able to maintain himself? Will he be able to compose himself and make a big play if the playoff situation calls for it?
Yeah, I mean, like the Patriots, I mean, they have like a top three offense. I mean, it's crazy. Like they have like literally one of the greatest, best offenses in the NFL this year. I mean, and even like a top 10 defense. And I mean, sort of the like, I mean, I guess, like I said, the biggest difference is can the Chargers get a big explosive play? Can they get like a sneak up play? Can they get a play that the Patriots weren't expecting to see coming on the defensive side of the ball? I mean, that's to me, that's probably what it's going to come down to is like a big play that nobody's going to expect to happen. Like a big play where you least expect it. Like a big play that just is a game changer. And I think that is what is going to need to happen for the LA Chargers. And if it does happen, Tad, you'll hear about it first for me because I'm saying it now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they need a big play. And also, another thing that the Chargers would need to pull the upset is you absolutely have to play clean football. You can't have mistakes. You can't have a lot of penalties. You can't have turnovers. You gotta value the ball to a ridiculous degree. I mean, you can't turn the ball over. If you turn the ball over, no chance you beat the Patriots. So, blocking, clean football, those are the two keys for an upset here.
Yeah, blocking and clean football, and I mean a big player too.
Yeah.
Down the field, absolutely. Yeah, the Steelers versus the Texans. I mean, the Texans they turned their season around. They did really good things, Tad. Here they are in the playoffs. Same with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We didn't even think we thought the Pittsburgh Steelers I want to mention that I specifically remember saying, like, even like when we were studying the teams, like way back in the summertime, I literally said 9 to 11 wins for the Steelers, and you said specifically 9-8 exactly. So
Mm.
I just want to mention that.
Okay.
But yeah, here we are. The Steelers, they won their division. They're at home. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers' first playoff home game on a Monday night in forever. That's worth noting. Okay, I mean
Yes.
Heinz Field is going to be absolutely. Or I'm sorry, it's not even called Heinz Field anymore. It's called Acrisure Stadium. But the Texans are road favorites. CJ
Mm.
Stroud versus Aaron Rodgers, the young buck versus the old vet, Jalen Warren versus Woody Marks. I mean, like, this is like the team of vets that have put it together with the Steelers. Like, this is a team of the seasoned vets. You got the seasoned vet coach, and then you got the young, like everybody on the Texans is so much younger. It's such a younger team, such a younger system. So I don't know. That's just so infatuating within itself. I mean, this is going to be a very fun game to watch on a Monday night after a long day at work, I'm sure. Um,
Oh yeah, for sure. It's going to be a very intense game. I mean, you also get to renew the rivalry between Aaron Rodgers of Pittsburgh, Danielle Hunter for the Houston Texans. He definitely spearheads that dominant defensive line, the best defensive line in the league, in my opinion. With Hunter, Anderson, guys like that, they can make a big play. It's going to be a big challenge for Pittsburgh's offensive line. You have to protect Aaron Rodgers at all costs. If he's getting pressured, if he's getting hit on a consistent basis, that could go south very quickly for Pittsburgh. And that's kind of how I see this game going myself. I'd definitely be leaning towards Houston in this game. And if so, that would be a very significant impact because this could be the last playoff run we get for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he has not really announced what he intends to do next season, if he's going to be back, if this will be his last season. So, a very
it's also,
impactful game here.
it's also worth noting that DK Metcalf will play.
Yeah, DK is back.
So, I mean, DK Metcalf, I mean, they were without him last week. So, if DK Metcalf can get like a big explosive player too up the field, that's going to be absolutely insane to see. And that is exactly what they'll need. I I'm gonna have to take the Steelers. I mean, just because I mean it's their first home playoff game in so long. I mean,
And what, it's Aaron Rodgers' first playoff game since 2021, I think I saw somewhere. So, very interesting there. I mean, it'll be an intense matchup. TJ Watt, he'll probably be a bit more healthy. That'll be helpful for Pittsburgh as well.
yeah. I mean, Nico Collins. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like it's gonna be a high scoring game. I don't expect it to be defensive necessarily. Like Nico Collins is gonna make big plays. Woody Marks is gonna make big plays. You're gonna need those guys too. Um, and you're also, I mean, you're gonna have to. I mean, you're gonna have to get after Aaron Rodgers if you're that Houston front seven. And I mean, Houston's front seven is pretty underrated. I mean, Houston's front seven, I don't know, one of the more better front sevens in the league, in my
Agreed.
opinion. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it's crazy to think about. Like this is gonna be just super, super tough. I mean, I want to say, like, it's not going to be easy by any means for the Steelers to come out here and win it because, like, the Texans have like just a top 2 or 3 defense. I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy to even think that. Like, I mean, I'm a Broncos fan and everything, but you could even argue that the Texans probably have a better defense than the Broncos. It's
I
crazy.
think they're 1 and 2. I think there's not a lot of question, in my opinion, that Dallas and Houston, I don't really care the order. You can put that either way with 1 and 2, but I think those are clearly the top two defenses in the league, in my opinion.
I mean, I would full heartedly expect the Houston defense to really like get after Rodgers and everything like that. And I mean, it's going to be absolutely tough. Uh,
Mhm.
but I don't know if I trust everything about the Houston offense to get it done. Like
I
I don't
don't
know if I trust
particularly
CJ
trust
Stroud
either
out.
offense.
Like I don't know if I trust CJ Stroud on the road in this situation necessarily to outwit Aaron Rodgers. If the Texans win this football game, Tad, it will be because of the defense.
I agree. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I mean, I know it might be, there could be some plays, there could be some scoring moments, but I think that both of these defenses are going to have a pretty strong day. I mean, I really like the Houston front seven, like you say, and I mean, Stingley's one of the better cornerbacks in the league, and then you got Lassiter. I mean, it's going to be a strong defensive show from Houston. If they win, that'll certainly be why. And of course, the offensive line for Houston is a big concern. So I feel like guys like TJ Watt could cause a big problem for Houston. So I think ball control is going to be key. Can you take advantage of big opportunities if you're in the red zone? You got to get a touchdown. Just make your plays. I think it's going to be intense. I mean, it's going to be an intense one. I think this is one of those games that could come down to like one or two plays.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be really good, and I mean I'm so excited to see this game. Just like what these teams might be able to come out here and achieve and do. So just I don't know. Like, sorry, I'm not like I said, I'm not feeling like my absolute best, but I do feel like the Steelers probably come out on top, and
Yeah,
it's
I'm going with
going to be
Houston.
tough. It's going to be tough, and there's going to be turnovers. I would predict more to be
Yeah,
between both teams. There's going to be a total of five or more turnovers. It's
that
going to be
would
gritty.
not come as a
It's
surprise.
going to be a playoff football game.
Yeah,
Like I'm excited to see it. Like, and I mean, you also got Mike Tomlin. I mean, he's been here for so long. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they have what it takes to make a deep run, but I think the Steelers have what it takes to win this game. And if I'm proven wrong, it will be because of the Texans front seven. And
hmm
yeah, you mentioned it yourself, Derek Stingley Jr. I mean, the Texans defense is absolutely insane. So I mean, the saying, defense wins championships. So if the
hmm
Texans win the Super Bowl, it'll be because of their defense. So we're gonna find out.
hmm Absolutely.
But yeah. So yep, Red Zone season finale recap, playoff previews for Super Bowl wild card weekend. We did it. Um, Let us know what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Follow along on the show for watching our recap show and snippets of the Gridiron Glory with Will and Tad. We will catch you next week to recap Super Wildcard Weekend and preview the divisional round. Thanks for watching.